We'd like to start the press conference by Minister Kamikawa. Minister, the floor is yours. Thank you. I would like to talk about 3 points, if I may. The first point, bearing in mind the instruction from Prime Minister Kishida, should circumstances allow, I will be visiting Egypt from October 20th up until the 22nd in order to take part in the Cairo Peace Summit, which will be hosted by the government of Egypt, which will discuss the Israeli and Palestinian situation. As far as the recent situation is concerned, having unequivocally condemned the terror attacks by Hamas and other Palestinian militants, we have taken a consistent position which points to the importance of the following: the importance of immediate release of hostages as well as securing the safety of ordinary citizens. Second, all relevant parties need to act in line with international law. And the third is the importance of calming down the situation as soon as possible. As for myself, I've had the phone conferences with Israel, Palestine, and other Arab countries, as well as with Iran, and have maintained very close coordination with the G7 countries, and have actively tackled this situation so that the situation could come down as soon as possible. The visit to Egypt will be part of such diplomatic efforts. So based on our position, we intend to contribute to the discussion about securing the safety of ordinary citizens, as well as contribute to the calming down of the situation as soon as possible, inclusive of the improvement of the humanitarian situation in Gaza, which is the most recent, very urgent topic.
Secondly, situation in Israel and Palestine is increasing its tension more than before. As the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, as the MOFA, we are prioritizing the security of Japanese people who are in Israel and Palestine. Against this backdrop, in the early hours of today, Japanese people 60 and their 4 family members who have a foreign nationality, 18 Koreans and their family member 1 person of foreign nationality. In total, 83 left to leave Israel in the SDF plane and later arrive in the early hours of the 21st at the Haneda airport. The other day, Park Jin, with the foreign minister, about the departure of their own foreign nationals, helping each other, cooperating with each other. We agree on that cooperation. We are delighted that we can cooperate. As the MOFA, we are taking diverse measures immediately after the terrorist attacks by Palestinian military forces, including checking the safety of Japanese nationals and alerting Japanese people and the updating information, including helping them with the chartered airplane. The situation is pretty fluid. We will continue to exert full efforts to secure the safety of the Japanese nationals.
Third point, on the 19th, I received a courtesy visit from ASEAN Committee in Tokyo as part of the outreach-type diplomatic activities here in Japan. This was a very timely meeting because it took place immediately after my visit to Southeast Asian countries. We were able to have a very good exchange of views in a very positive atmosphere. Now, SCT members spoke highly of the cooperation between Japan and ASEAN to date, including Japan's support for ASEAN centrality and unity. They also expressed high expectations that Japan-ASEAN relations and bilateral relations will be further strengthened in a wide range of areas on the occasion of the Commemorative Summit in December. That is all from my side. Thank you very much.
If you have a question, please raise your hand and invite you to walk to the nearest microphone. Give us your name and affiliation. 共同通信桂田さん, please. 共同通信桂田. As you mentioned about your visit to Egypt, in relation to that, if you look at Japan, about 90% of the crude oil import is from the Middle East. The situation is worsening between Israel and Palestine. With Arab countries, how do you plan to deal with those countries, including Egypt? Middle East has big potential. They are blessed with energy resources. They are also very important place for sea lanes. Japan is dependent on the Middle East for the 90% of the crude oil import. The peace and stability of this region is of great importance from the viewpoint of energy security. Based on these, so far, we have dispatched the SDF personnel. We have also have done ODA, and we have also promoted dialogue for the peace and stability in the Middle East. We have made great contribution. Regarding the situation in Gaza and also in the peripheral areas, already there have been a large number of casualties. The situation is becoming tense minute by minute, and we cannot foresee the future at all. As Japan, we are looking at the situation with grave concerns. As Japan will based on the changing situation minute by minute with Arab countries, including Egypt, have good communication, securing safety of Japanese nationals. We would like to keep making diplomatic efforts for the early de-escalation of the situation and the improvement of the humanitarian situation. We have also built good relations. We have built with the Middle East countries. So going forward, we would like to utilize that. And with the relevant countries, including the United States, we would like to collaborate for this de-escalation and the stabilization of the situation and securing of the stable supply of energy. We would like to continue our proactive diplomatic efforts.
Matsuyama-san from Asahi Shimbun, please. Next question. Matsuyama from Asahi Shimbun. I would ask about the situation in Israel. Now, in Gaza Strip, Israel cut down this water, electricity, and food supply, and was totally sealed off. And also, Israeli forces has asked 1.1 million people to evade, to leave Gaza in a very short period of time. And this really, now you mentioned in the outset that there's a need for 11 parties to bear in mind international law. How do you assess the actions by Israeli, and what type of position do you intend to undertake in the international community? Yes, first, with regard to the Gaza and also in the surrounding areas, we have seen many casualties already. And the sense of urgency and tension is changing and increasing every moment. And we cannot be complacent about the situation. So therefore, as far as Japan is concerned, we continue to monitor the situation with very serious concern. As far as Japan is concerned, we unequivocally condemn the recent terror attacks by Hamas and the other Palestinian militants, and have pointed out the importance of immediate release of hostages as well as securing the safety of citizens. The second, all parties need to act bearing in mind the international law and the need for calming down the situation as soon as possible. We take a consensus position on these 3 points. As far as the relationship with Israel is concerned, myself, I've had the chance to talk with Foreign Minister Cohen on the 12th over phone, and also on the 16th. State Secretary Mr. Tsuji met with Ambassador of Israel to Japan. He talked about the importance of securing the safety of innocent citizens, and all parties need to act, bearing in mind the international humanitarian law. So therefore, in this meeting, he asked that cooperation be provided so that we could set up a climate whereby humanitarian assistance could be done in a safe manner and the necessary supply could reach the citizens. Now, having said that, as far as the situation is concerned, while Japan may not be a direct party, we are not privy to the specifics of the situation. So we'd like to refrain from making a legal evaluation of the matter. In any event, as far as Japan is concerned, we will continue to bear in mind the ever-changing local situation and will maintain close communication with the relevant countries and will make an all-out effort to secure safety of the Japanese citizens, and would like to make an all-out diplomatic effort so that the situation could be calmed down as soon as possible and so that the humanitarian situation could be improved as soon as possible.
Next question, please. Azuhari-san, please.
Why did Japan veto the initial draft resolution calling for a ceasefire in Gaza at the UN Security Council 3 days ago? This might give the impression that of supporting the war. Please explain the Japan position. Thank you.
In the morning of 17th, that 16th afternoon in New York time, at this United Nations Security Council, a meeting was held concerning the Israel and Palestine situation. The resolution, a draft resolution by Russia was rejected. Regarding this draft resolution, amongst the Security Council members, there was not sufficient discussion. And in terms of the balance, it was not well balanced. That is why we didn't support this. On the other hand, on the evening of the 18th, at the Security Council, regarding the draft resolution proposed by Brazil concerning the situation in Gaza, the humanitarian situation, the majority of the draft resolution was something we could support. That's why we supported this as the government, while looking at the situation that's changing minute by minute, so that the situation will de-escalate as soon as possible by collaborating with the international community. We would like to call upon the relevant parties. We would like to be proactive in addressing this issue.
This will be the last question. Niigata Nippo, please. Saito from Niigata Nippo. I have to ask about the Sado mines. Yesterday and today, I believe, members of the prefecture and the city visited your minister. Understand that they were visiting Japan, and the press report was saying that they had the schedule to meet with yourself. However, the meeting was called off, and this is causing speculation among the various parties. So can you tell us why it is that you have decided to cancel the scheduled meeting with the members of the Sate City? And also, what type of position are you going to take with regard to the potential registry of Sado mines as a World Heritage? Yes, as far as the meeting with the mayor of Sate City is concerned, because of the prevailing situation in Middle East being very stringent, and because the situation was changing every moment, I'm afraid, as things were evolving so dynamically, and my schedule became very, very busy, and unfortunately, I was not able to meet with the delegation from the Sato. Now, I did ask the Vice Minister, Mr. Okano, to respond on my behalf on this matter. But in any event, with regard to the realization of the registry of the Sado mines as World Heritage, we'll continue to make close coordination with the relevant local governments. And there is no change in the policy that the government will be united in addressing this issue. As far as the Minister of Foreign Affairs is concerned, we'll continue to play a central role in the diplomatic terms. Okay, one more question.
北海道新聞綾さんどうぞ。
One more question, Hokkaido Shimbun. Arai, about the Middle East situation. The minister with Hillary Clinton, the former Secretary of State, you discussed the regional issues, and the WBS, the women, peace, and security are important. On that issue, you agreed with them. Well, we see the conflict in the Middle East situation from the viewpoint of WBS. Anything you would like to do going forward? Concerning WPS, women, peace, and security. Women, protection of women and girls, while working on helping them and rescuing them, the women taking a leadership role, and in the prevention of conflicts and in recovery and peace building. By participating in them, we can become closer to the sustainable peace. So this is based on this approach. Former Secretary of State, Madam Hillary Clinton, I had a meeting with her, and even before I became foreign minister on these issues, I had been working and addressing these issues, and we established the League of Parliamentarians, and we intend to promote this strongly from Madam Clinton. She also gave us her support. It's the women and the children and people who are vulnerable, who are affected by the conflict in the current Israel-Palestine situation, for the early de-escalation and for the improvement of the humanitarian situation in Gaza. When we extend support, we also would like to have a viewpoint of women and WPS, and we would like to collaborate with relevant organizations.
させていただきます。ありがとうございました。
We'd like to conclude the meeting, press conference at this juncture. Thank you very much.